This is Vicki with Vicki Woo Marketing, and we're going to talk about when should you choose a chief marketing officer or marketing coach or marketing strategist versus a virtual assistant. You may need both, and sometimes you may need both at the same time. I'm going to share the biggest differences between the two and the exact questions that you need to be answering for yourself to understand which will work best for you with where you are in your business right now. But first, I've got to tell you a really funny story. In case you're watching on video, you may notice that my hair is a slightly different color. The other day, I was going back and checking the security cam footage from our Ring doorbell and clicked on one of them, and our stairwell comes up partially, like a quarter of the way, and then turns and goes up more. And I saw someone down in that bottom part, some old lady with gray hair. And I was like, who is that? And then, of course, turning and coming further up the steps, I realized it was me from earlier in the day. And I had not had my post COVID hair done since way before COVID. So I dug in my bathroom cabinet and found an old box of hair coloring. So it's actually lighter than normal, although the gray is covered, so it looks darker. So there you go, my COVID story. And I just couldn't believe that my hair had gotten quite that light. I actually like the color of gray, but it was really shining bright. That's my COVID story, and I'm sticking to it. The biggest difference between whether you need a chief marketing officer, a marketing strategist, a marketing coach, or a virtual assistant is usually that the CMO, strategist, or coach helps you set the overall direction for your marketing. And at the level of a CMO, some other pieces of it as well. Whereas virtual assistants usually handle the implementation, such as posting on social media or sending out your emails. Virtual assistants usually have much less overall experience than you would find with a CMO, a marketing strategist, or a marketing coach. For the most part, those job titles, by their usual and customary definition, would be someone with at least 10 years of marketing experience, or in the case of a CMO, you'll regularly see requests for 15 or more, plus college degree at a minimum. This is actually why we provide packages that include both. There is a time and place for both. Sometimes you need both. There's not one thing wrong with one or better with the other. There's a use for both. We combine the strategy and vision of a CMO with the lower priced implementation of a VA. That way you get a lot more bang for your buck, because not only is your marketing done efficiently because you have that strategy and guidance, but it's also done at lower implementation, which is always great. I'm always one for not wasting resources of time, money, or focus. So here's some of the biggest questions to ask yourself as to whether you need a virtual assistant or you need that strategic marketing direction right now at this point. So question number 1, do you already have set marketing goals and KPIs? If not, you would need a chief marketing officer or someone at that strategy level to help you set those. Or you need to do it yourself. If you don't have them, they need to be done. Usually a virtual assistant is not who you would get to help you with the goals and KPIs. Question 2, have you already outlined your target audience and you're pretty comfortable with the selected demographics and traits? If not, you need the chief marketing officer or a strategist or a coach, because those are not the types of strategy decisions that usually you would bring in a virtual assistant for. The next question you'll want to ask yourself is, do you already have a solid understanding of your branding? Not just you know your logo and you know your colors, but also the overall visual direction, and most importantly, the communication and voice. What to say, how to say it, when to say it. If you don't know that, then you'll need a CMO. Do you already know which marketing strategies you should be using that would be most effective and most efficient for your target audience and your goals? If not, you probably need chief marketing officer, that type of strategy or coaching. That's not usually a service provided by a virtual assistant. Have you already developed a comprehensive marketing plan? While not all businesses need a full-blown written plan. You do need written goals and written strategies, but that full plan, those applying for any type of funding, you'll need it. And in that case, you probably want a CMO instead of a virtual assistant. Do you already know for sure that you have all of your data analysis tools set up properly so that you can regularly be tracking the effectiveness of any marketing campaign that you do? If not, you're going to want that chief marketing officer for marketing strategy. And do you know, are all of your systems set up to talk to one another as much as possible with automations tied in and functioning properly so that you're not duplicating work? And if you're getting a VA just to duplicate work, that's a bad idea. And so that your onboarding of clients and your follow up is all flowing smoothly. If that's not already set up, you probably need the strategic direction of a CMO or marketing coach. Now let's talk about when you're ready to use a virtual assistant instead. In these cases, you need to be the one responsible for the guidance and direction of what strategies to use, where, when, and how. The very first basic piece that you need is a solid personal understanding of your own brand voice, beyond just your logo and your colors, beyond just the communication and identity, but your overall voice. And you need to understand this not just in your head, but you need to communicate it clearly to another person at a level where they understand it. If you can't do this, you won't be able to successfully hand over something as simple even as social media or email unless you're doing all the work creating and doing the copywriting and just having them physically post. Honestly, at that level, it's only going to save you a few minutes a week or a day, which granted is better than nothing. But you need to be able to fully provide the direction of your end goals and hand it over and let them implement the pieces that you already know are going to get you there. Sometimes the management piece that you need to do, if you aren't able to clearly communicate all these questions that we've asked, takes just as much time, if not more, when you don't understand and you're handing it over to someone and you're having to micromanage. Where you find the real benefit to yourself in freeing up some of your invaluable time so that you can focus on those pieces of the business that only you can do is by handing projects over to a virtual assistant to the extent that you aren't needing to micromanage it. If you're going in and editing the copy over and over again because you haven't been able to communicate the voice, then you're not ready for a virtual assistant. You need to get a CMO, a marketing coach, a marketing strategist in to help you set that first. One of the biggest pushbacks I hear about this whole concept, and I know that you hear this too, you may have even said it to yourself before. People say, I need to be the one posting the message. I need to be in control of my marketing so that I make sure that it's right. And they don't mean that it's done right, but they mean that the message is right. And what that often means is that you don't have a solid understanding of it, all those questions answered yourself, to be able to relay it to that other person well enough so that they understand your brand voice. And let's face it, unless you're a marketing company like we are, you don't actually make money by the process of handling any piece of marketing that you do. And don't get me wrong, obviously there's advertising you can do and other lead generation strategies, yes, that are all built to make you money, but you're not being paid for posting on social media unless you're an influencer and they're paying you. That's the only time. So you're not making money directly by doing those activities. You make money by providing whatever service or product that you're selling. In the case of a product, it could be easy once you have your specifications down for someone to assist you in making the widgets so that you can sell them. In the case of a service, it's a little bit harder. You're the one providing that service or overseeing the provision of the service that others are doing to make sure that it's up to your standards. Now, we probably can't come in and do either of those things for you. We can, though, take your marketing off your plate. Sometimes you need to be the one or one of the people personally closing the sales. that's a piece that you need to do. And having more time means you're able to do more of that, and that means more sales. Or perhaps you have several people on board making the widgets or providing the service, and that's great when you're growing to that level. You need to be the one providing them the direction and overseeing the quality and the customer service. That's a piece that needs to be directly in your hand. And you need to free up your time and focus from other areas of your business so that you can make the biggest impact possible in your business. And for most business owners, that's not by personally handling all of those marketing pieces themselves. A lot of people make a mistake of starting with a virtual assistant before they have a solid understanding of all of those pieces that we discussed, that they need to be guiding the virtual assistant on. They think, oh, a few hours a week of a VA doing these things on social media and emails, it frees up my time. And that is true, usually to an extent. Yet if you're doing those tasks and they're all directed at the wrong goal, you likely aren't having as much success as you otherwise could. It's that old saying, you climb a ladder and get all the way to the top only to find out that it's been laying against the wrong wall all of the time. So you've wasted all of that time, money, energy, focus, those really important resources by doing something that wasn't quite right. Yeah, you got up there, but you're in the wrong place and it's not where you need to be or where you wanted to be. And if you don't have a solid understanding of all those things we talked about, you're probably going to be spending more time managing the process of your marketing, possibly more than you would have spent actually doing it yourself. Directing those focus and energy and strategy and money, all of that to the proper place actually lets you grow and scale faster. And don't worry about having too much work to handle. You think, oh, I can't grow that fast. I don't have people to do it. It's actually going to be easier for you to hire the people to help you get it done then if you understand your entire brand and hire to handle that work and use your skills that we can't replicate to oversee that process. Like I said, there's a time and place for both. That's why we offer packages that actually contain both. But you need to really sit back and ask yourself if you're ready to hand over these pieces properly. And if not, you want to get some of that strategy and focus before you do. Like always, if you have a marketing question, you can ask your question down below in the comment or discussion area, or you can visit our website, vickiwu.marketing, and in the bottom right corner, you'll find a chat bubble icon, and you can ask your question there. We will try to answer you directly, and we may even use your question on an upcoming episode. While you're here, check out our other videos and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss the latest marketing tips.